About a year and a half ago, a close friend of mine who volunteered and worked in the nonprofit sector disappeared. Him and I, we used to speak often, we used to connect often, and I tried every channel to get in touch with him to see if everything was okay. About 3 months into my search, I went from, he must be really busy, to there must be something really wrong. He wasn't kidnapped or anything. He didn't run away from home. He ran away from his passion. And that passion was the nonprofit and charitable sector. His passion was working with people in need, supporting folks on the front lines, and deeply caring for people. He ran away from his passion. He burnt out. For more than 2 decades, he helped people on the front lines. He supported people in need in all kinds of neighborhoods. He committed himself to many causes. He was one of the most energetic and bubbly people I knew. And his presence went from bubbly to burnt out. I really missed him. And so did thousands of other people. And like many, he announced his burnout on LinkedIn. The sector that is meant to be caring for people and families has a massive care problem. I feel it. A lot of folks in the room might also feel that there's a problem. But how big of a problem is it? Who's most affected? Who's least affected? What are some of the biggest factors affecting well-being? And what needs to change? No one really knows, because there's no high-quality pan-Canadian data on this. So, at Future of Good, we decided to do something no one has ever done before in Canada at this scale. About a year ago, the Future of Good team came together with Environics Research and, supported by a number of audacious funders, embarked on the most comprehensive and representative research survey on the health and well-being of nonprofit workers ever conducted in Canada. It's called the Changemaker Wellbeing Index, and it will be released in late May, and you'll be able to download the initial findings report for free. But now we have the data and evidence to know how well we actually are. The nonprofit world is at the precipice. Well, it's the best time in the history of humanity to be alive and volunteer and share and support. The systems humans designed decades ago continue to constantly sideline, ignore, simplify, and silence the well-being of people actually doing the work. The majority of the nonprofit and charitable sector in this country is run by volunteers, and yet care and well-being have become uncomfortable internal topics. They become taboo topics. But well-being can no longer be an add-on. It should have never been an add-on. People are burnt out from formal volunteering roles. They can't take care of their own families at home. We're all imaginative people here in this room. Where is our imaginations when it comes to well-being in the sector? When it comes to prioritizing well-being, we all need to go from what is to what if. And here I'm going to offer you 3 of my what if questions to you. My first what if question: what if your volunteers become the biggest champions of your organization? According to the Changemaker Wellbeing Index, only 25% of workers say they would promote their organization to a friend. 25%. And here's the thing. More than 70% of people who work at money marts say they would promote their workplace to a friend. 70%. Money marts beat us. How can you even advance your cause with a number like 25%, especially if your nonprofit relies on word of mouth or reputation to attract and retain volunteers? Volunteers can become your biggest supporters and champions, but they need their managers and supervisors and teams to prioritize well-being. It's the biggest factor for retaining volunteers. My second what-if question. What if your volunteers always felt well-rested? According to our research, more than 2/3 of workers sometimes feel exhausted, and more than 1/3 often feel exhausted and fatigued. This is absurd. How can you fundraise well, or support a family, or mentor someone, or deliver services well, when the majority of your team often feel exhausted and fatigued? And just look around you in this room. That's a majority of you in every row. My third what-if question. What if your volunteers live nourished lives? According to the Changemaker Wellbeing Index, a bit over 50% of workers, especially those in frontline and client services roles, say they are food insecure. 50%. How can you expect them to show up energized if they're not nourished? This reduces their physical capacities, their cognitive capacities, to work, to volunteer. Your star volunteer likely doesn't know where the next meal is coming from. The folks running your food banks in your neighborhoods might not be able to afford groceries this week. That's the reality. Folks, these are not new issues. These are deep systemic issues that have made the paid and volunteer workforce more fragile than ever. According to our index, about 33% of nonprofit workers are considering leaving their jobs. Many are considering leaving the sector at a time when demand is skyrocketing. That's the level of systemic fragility in communities across the country. As an organization, Future of Good's focus is illuminating important transformations shaping the social purpose world. And well-being is one of those transformations. We have not centered the well-being of our volunteers or workers. I've offered you 3 what-if questions. So now it's your responsibility to ask at least one what-if question with the team you volunteer with. We now have the research, we have the evidence, we have the data to change things. The nonprofit sector runs on purpose, but it cannot run on empty. Thank you.